What is the funniest thing you overheard from another player's mic while playing a game online? Back in the days of Halo 2, guy I played with regularly was Asian. We were trash talking, as 15-year-olds will, when I heard this sharp slapping sound, followed by the dude logging out. Turns out his mom heard our trash talk and used her flip-flop to wallop the back of his head. First time I heard it, followed by many more when we were up too late. My husband goes around singing, "You have food, you have water. What the F is your problem?" Our goofy Maine Coon kitty is a complete chowhound, but loves when my husband sings to him. So when my husband sings this, the kitty chimes in with him. Well, one night I'm doing a WOW raid, and I was explaining a strat, when my husband starts singing this in the kitchen. He was loud enough that everyone on the mic heard it, and burst out laughing. Shortly after that, someone asked the mage to drop a table and a feast, so he responded by saying, "You have food and water. WTF is your problem?" which led to everyone bursting out in laughter again. I was playing Rocket League and some guy told me he was going to take a bath with my dad. I've never laughed so hard. I was trash talking this team on Black Ops 2 back in the day. I said, "You live in your mom's basement," and my mom walked into my room at that very moment and said, "You will too if you don't get those grades up." I was 14. I heard an adult get mad at his mom for putting the wrong cheese on his sandwich. One time after beating a kid at a match on Counter-Strike, he kept yelling 1v1 me noob and hurling other insults at me. The kid was definitely only 11 to 12 years old. Anyways, I added him so we could 1v1, and while sitting in the pre-game lobby I heard his mother come in and start yelling at him to go to bed. He refused to turn off the PC. Then I heard his mother walk towards the PC and turn it off. He was immediately disconnected. I was laughing so hard the whole time. I was playing a quick play game of Overwatch, and there was some kid getting yelled at by his mom that dinner was ready. It was a shouting match of her telling him to get off the game, and him telling her he'd only be a minute. Then he full on screamed at her and disconnected. This was followed by one guy on mic who had been silent the entire game, bursting out laughing. "Charlie, don't you dare chew the effing cable. Don't you dare. Stop. 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 Spit the effing cable out." Cheryl Zapras. I think what I presume to be the cat didn't let go of the cable. The game was Overwatch. This guy's girlfriend asked him if she should order him pizza. He said, "Do I effing look Italian to you?" Not mine, but my friend's story. She was playing PUBG with a bunch of random people, and one of the dude's mom goes, "Are you talking to a girl?" in the most dramatic voice, and then he disappeared. The other dude went like, "Oh man, let's pray for his soul." A guy's drunk wife talking loud enough in the background for us to hear her about how she made the out of some sourdough bread. Those were her exact words. She was all, "Yeah, I know your online friends can hear me. I bet they're jealous of this bomb sourdough. They can suck my D." It was in a Call of Duty Ghosts Infection lobby. There were multiple little kids trash talking each other throughout the whole game. Then somebody called the Great Scott joined and infected one of the kids. Then they all ganged up on him saying that they hoped he choked on his haggis. Then he comes on the mic and in the most stereotypical Scottish accent possible, casually says, "F off lads, or I'll shove me haggis up, ye bollocks, laddie." I was nearly crying throughout the next match. I was playing COD and a player was helping his son with his homework. He was having a hard time explaining why multiplying by 0 equals 0, so I plugged in my mic and told the guy how to explain it simply. It was like Cyrano de Bergerac. I'd say a sentence to the guy in his headset, and he'd parrot it to the kid. I also love when I hear people talk to what I assume are their pets on mic. I was once playing NHL with a couple friends. Our randomly filled teammate was probably about a 14 or 15-year-old kid. We then hear an older woman's voice, presumably his mother, in the thickest Boston accent I've ever heard. "Wash ya effin' hands, Teddy. 2 pumps of soap. Don't break the effin' container." I was the one saying it over a live mic. Husband and I were cooking meal prep lunches when I had to leave for my raid. I was talking something through before a fight when my husband came into the office with a fork full of food for me to try. I moved my head away a few times, and he kept getting closer and closer with the fork, until I finally said I don't want it in my mouth right now. Guild waited a half second before losing it. We had to take a 10-minute break. Overheard a mum shout from a teammate's audio. Mum, we are going out to get breakfast. Kid, no, I'm in the middle of a game. Mum, we are going to McDonald's. Awesome. Kid 69 left the game. So not overheard, but I remember an incident about myself. When I was 12 I got to raid ZG in World of Warcraft for the first time with my guild. It was also the first time I used VentriloTS and didn't know about the push to talk mechanic, so my mic was on the whole time. My mom asked me from downstairs what I wanted on my sandwich, so I yelled back really loud, liver paste with mayonnaise and cucumber, in Norwegian, and, oh my god, I scared the out of my guilders. Some other Norwegian guy in the guild could not stop laughing for the whole raid. A guy in my Overwatch party was taking barn rips all night, claiming it made him play better. We had pushed the payload almost to the end on our turn, but we were losing ground extremely fast. They pushed us to the second checkpoint on Gibraltar when the guy says hold up and goes completely AFK in spawn. From the mic we hear the loudest, most drawn out barn rip that I have ever heard in my life. Deadass lasted like 90 seconds. He came back and proceeded to frag out hard on many of all characters and basically held the enemy team in spawn the rest of the game. After that we went on one of those night-long winning streaks and I finally hit diamond. I never found Weed Seagull again, but I couldn't have done it without him. I was playing a game of Dead or Alive 4 and multiple people were in the lobby. This guy in usual fashion starts trash talking one of the other guys and all of a sudden both of them somehow get their girlfriends involved in this online argument on a headset. It was pretty hilarious listening to two women compare their man's penis sizes, which is completely irrelevant to the situation. Lol. I was playing I think COD or something, and I hear this kid go, "Mom, did you see that? I sniped him." And the mom goes, "That's great. Did you put lotion on your ashy ass elbows?" This one got me. "How's ya mother?" "Good. Tired from effing my father." I was playing Fortnite with a squad of fandoms. Playing with a kid who's been talking the entire game. No one is responding. A mom, I'm assuming, starts yelling at this kid in our squad on Fortnite. Mind you, he's probably 10 to 12 years old. I hear in a stern voice, "Jason, turn off your Xbox right now." He whines, "We are almost done. Can I finish this game?" She says, "If you don't turn it off now, no Xbox for a week." Door slams. Jason goes, "Fudge it." He stays on, and we come in 7th. Jason is a legend. The only online game I've ever played is Fortnite, and I only started playing that because my little nephew wanted me to duo with him, as he has nobody else to play with regularly. I was bad though, so I started playing squad fill on my own to try and improve, so I could actually help my nephew when we play. Early hours of one morning I got paired up with a couple of guys who sounded like they were talking Arabic, so I just stayed quiet. Then a young kid joined, maybe about 14 or so, and started trying to talk to the other two. He went through a whole list of languages, asking them if they spoke English, Spanish, Italian, German, and the two guys said no each time. Finally the kid asked them if they spoke French, and one of them said yes. The kid spoke a few sentences in French, and after a slight pause, one of the guys replied with, "Or, bag it." I laughed. The kid left. One of the guys said, "Ah." The weak left. Turns out they were both Scottish. It was funny, but it didn't half make me feel kind of dumb. Listen to this young kid who speaks all these languages, and me barely know English. Little kid getting spanked by his mom over Xbox Live, playing Halo 2. He apparently took a bath, got water all over the hardwood floor, left his dirty clothes on the floor, and was still not even dressed yet, and had gotten the wet towel draped on the chair. The mom was like, "At least you being naked saves me the time, so take down your underwear." We were laughing so hard, no one was even playing the match. One time I was playing squads random fill on Fortnite, don't judge, and I overheard one of the other players' mom saying, "Turn around, I'm changing," and the kid said, "I know, mom." I don't know what he meant by that. In my WOW guild, we have a married couple in our raid group. They are parents, and a lot of the other people in our guild are olderish guys, single guys, or younger ones. One night we are raiding, and mid-pull we hear the mom yell into her mic accidentally, "Hey, it's almost time for bed, you better have taken a shower, and put your games away," in the most mom voice you've ever heard. A lot of people in our raid were ready to log off and go shower, out of fear.